皆さんこんにちは。Hi everyone. My name is Takeo Harada, CEO and representative of the Institute for International Studies and Information Analysis, located in Tokyo, in front of the central station of Tokyo. And my colleague is Miss Lao Yaojin. Yeah, it's terribly difficult to pronounce it, but what's the correct pronunciation of your name? Yaojin.
Yaojin.
And what's the meaning of your name, given name?
It means an old instrument.
Instrument.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
In ancient Chinese.
Traditional.
Yes, instrument.
What's the meaning of Yao?
Yao means
is,
jade.
yeah,
Means
jade.
jade. Yes, this instrument was made by jade.
Mm-hmm.
So an old instrument made by jade means my parents helped me to become a lady like this and elegant.
To become musician?
Yeah,
No?
become a lady and who has image and very elegant and classic image. Yes.
Oh, really? And Yaojin comes from Shanghai.
Yes, I'm from Shanghai.
Were you born in Shanghai?
Yeah, I'm born in Shanghai. Yes.
And I heard that the language which Shanghainese.
Yes.
Chinese is a little bit different
Yes.
from the Mandarin.
It's totally different from Mandarin.
Really?
A little bit like Japanese.
And that means you can speak two different Chinese languages.
Yes. Yes.
How different? How many percent? How many percent is?
About the pronunciation.
Yes.
100%
Really?
different. Yes, from Mandarin.
Oh gosh.
But the character is the same. Yes. So just the pronunciation, like a different language. Yes.
Yaojin just joined our institute from the very beginning of this month, April.
Yes.
And my institute is called, as I said, Institute for International Strategy and Information Analysis, which was founded in 2007, actually 2005.
Yes.
But I registered this company as the 株式会社 in Japanese in 2007. And since then, I'm running my own think tank as CEO and representative. And the aim of this program is to think a little bit about what's the meaning of the Pax Japonica.
Yeah.
Pax Japonica is the vision of our institute. But maybe you once heard other expressions such as Pax Americana or Pax Britannica.
Yes.
But Pax Japonica is less known.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not so
familiar with you.
Familiar
maybe
with me.
not familiar with all of you.
Okay.
So I just published this book from London, from the Lit Publishing, one of the prominent publishers in Europe in 2017. And this is entitled Pax Japonica, the resurrection of Japan. And but nobody believes that such phenomenon, the resurrection of Japan, will take place. So, as I said, the goal of this program is to think about together whether Pax Japonica is possible or not, and how can we conceptualize this phrase Pax Japonica? So maybe in English. But as you heard, my English is totally broken because actually I was a career diplomat in the Japanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs for 12 years. But I was specialty in not in English-speaking countries such as the USA and the UK, but in Germany.
German.
Yeah,
Yes.
ich kann Deutsch sprechen.
Yes.
But maybe you cannot. So this program is maybe 90% spoken with English language.
Yes.
Maybe 5% Japanese, and maybe 5% in Chinese. Because I just passed this, how can I say that, HSK, Chinese language test.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, so fifth grade.
Yes.
Yes, but I can't speak because this.
Maybe.
Yeah, speaking Chinese language is a little bit different from
Yes.
just memorizing the words and
yes.
phrases in
The
Chinese
character
language.
is
Yes.
the same as Japanese.
Yes, not the same.
A little bit similar.
Yeah, similar.
Yes.
Yeah, but anyway, 5%. If we have the huge problems to understand each other,
Yes.
maybe either Chinese and the English, but mainly we will speak in English.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's start. Yao-Jun, did
Yes.
you read through my book? This
Yes,
book,
I
Pax
yes, I
Japonica?
read this book many times.
Really?
Yes.
Well, and how did you find it? What's your opinion?
My opinion about this
Yes,
book.
yes, yes.
It's very interesting book.
In general, just
yes.
in general, lovely.
Yes, because there are so many information that we cannot get from the media and the newspaper.
Yeah.
Some secret about Japan in this
Yes.
book. So it's so interesting, and but it's very difficult because it's related to some politics and economy problems. So I read many times to understand it. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe actually, this book was, as I said, published by the very famous British publishers called
Yes.
Lit Publishing. But I was introduced to this Lit Publishing by one of the leading Japanese publishers
Yes.
called Kanki Shuppan, Kanki Publishers.
Hi.
And, they originally planned to translate
Yes.
this book into Japanese
Oh,
language,
really?
but they just gave up because
Right.
the content
Yes.
of this book is a little bit difficult. Like I said, to get a breakthrough in the Japanese society because, as you said, almost
secrets.
yes, some secrets and I can say totally. I just wrote down many things
Yes.
which are not familiar with the ordinary people in,
Yes.
in Japan. So, but well, Yao-Jun, could you just pick up some points you found in this book and you found a little bit interesting or remarkable?
Some for me the most impressing
Yeah.
thing is
Yeah.
the Japanese.
Mhm.
Something about Japanese. I learned Japanese when I was in college, but I don't know that Japanese is something related to the personality of Japanese. So
Oh, really?
yes.
Uh-huh.
So if you learn Japanese,
You mean the
maybe
passiveness of
it's passiveness,
the
yes,
Japanese?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So this is very interesting.
Really? Don't you
Yes.
think the Japanese, ordinary Japanese are very passive? No?
I-
Compared with the
yes.
Chinese.
Yes.
Chinese are very
Chinese
assertive.
is very
No, I'm
aggressive
sorry.
and
I'm sorry.
That's true. So
Not only the Chinese, but also the other nations in the
Yes.
continent
yes.
are very tough.
Yes.
I must say.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but that's
Yeah, because
just like
well, let's take a look at the Ukrainian. If you are not, very assertive or very aware of
Yes.
the environment around them, then you will be easily attacked by the
Yes.
neighbors,
yes.
maybe militarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, like such as we are not facing in Ukraine, now, for
Yeah.
example. Yeah. So and well, passive. Maybe it's really rooted in the fact that ordinary Japanese cannot speak anything around in foreign languages.
Yes.
Don't you think so?
Maybe. Sometimes I think so.
It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, you know, I was given the opportunity to study at the Free University of Germany in
Oh,
Berlin
really? Yeah.
for 2 years, for 1.5 years,
Yes.
where I lived in the center of Berlin,
Yeah.
and in Berlin we had a lot of how can I say other ethnic groups than the German. The Turks,
Yeah.
Turkish people, or how can I say, other Africans, or
Different.
yes,
from
different,
countries.
yeah, young people, and also students, and also business persons coming from the other countries than Germany.
Yeah.
But they're just living, how can I say, together, maybe with some conflicts, but in a harmonized way. But in Japan, you can find just how can I say the majority of the people living in Japan is how can I say I would say the Asians or the East Asians.
Yes.
Only a tiny percent of the population living in Japan is, for example, Europeans, Americans, and other ethnic groups.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah, this is quite different from Chinese situation.
Yes.
Don't you think so?
Yes, that's quite
How
different.
how many ethnic groups do you have in China?
Groups? You mean nationality?
No, nationality is Chinese.
Nation.
Tribes, or I can say maybe I can say Han ethnic group. Han 민족. 민족.
So about 50.
50.
Yes, different.
50.
50. Yes. So many.
Oh my God.
Yes, but the Kaminzoku is the biggest majority.
Yes. How many percent?
About maybe 70% is Kaminzoku.
70.
Yes.
Oh, but only 70%.
Yes, but China is such a big country, so maybe in some remote district there's majority people. Yes.
Very interesting. So, well, the ordinary Japanese can be passive because they don't need to fight against each other.
Right.
Even in such a tiny country. Yeah.
Yes.
And the point is, I would say the only condition for those who want to live in Japan is to be able to speak the language, Japanese.
Yes.
This is quite different from the Chinese situation.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes. In China, we have so many different languages. Yes.
But official language is Mandarin.
Mandarin is Putonghua, Pekingo.
Pekingo. But the Peking language it's slightly different to Putonghua.
A little bit language.
A little
maybe.
bit.
Yes. But only Chinese can
know
the
that.
difference. Yes.
Very interesting. Yeah. But the Japanese, how do you find the Japanese language? Why can you speak so fluently the Japanese language? Where did you learn it?
Yes, I learned when I was a college student, and so I go to the Japanese classroom about
how many years?
About 2 years.
2 years, but only 2 years.
Yes, I like Japanese drama and films, so that's very helped me a lot to improve my Japanese.
I understand. Yeah, but as you said, for the ordinary Japanese, it's a little bit difficult to pronounce it. No, totally difficult to pronounce it, the Chinese language correctly.
Yes.
But just to read or write the Chinese phrases, it's no problem.
Yes.
Maybe if you will make a little bit effort.
Japanese,
But is it vice versa? What do you find? What did you find it when you learned Japanese language? Do you find it a little bit difficult to pronounce Japanese words or phrases? No.
I think.
But at least we Japanese don't have shisei.
Yes. We don't have shisei, as you say, 四声ないので compared to Chinese and Japanese pronunciation is as easy, I think, to command. So I don't have difficulty in the pronunciation.
Interesting.
Yes.
And passiveness and any other points you find it in the books?
Yes.
Interesting.
Another point I think very interesting is.
可愛い what mean? The expression 可愛い. Why do they call Japanese girls just 可愛い?
That's I always think about this. Maybe.
But how can you translate this word in Chinese? 可愛い.
可愛.
Does it have the same meaning of the Japanese 可愛い?
Totally the same meaning. Lovely means
really?
lovely. Yes.
可愛い.
Yes. A little bit different from beautiful. Lovely means maybe like
cute.
Cute. Yes.
Cute.
Yes.
But in Western languages such as German or French or even English, they don't have the similar word.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Kawaii.
yeah, kawaii. Maybe kawaii.
It's unique
Wow.
culture.
Here we go. Yeah,
in
culture.
Asia, maybe.
Yes. And kawaii kuwai, and passiveness, and any other point. Maybe innovation or something like that.
Also, in this book, there's a lot of story about the Japanese emperor.
Emperor.
Yes.
You just keep my proposal to talk about a little bit about innovation.
Yes.
But you just jumped into the main theme, main issue of this book.
Yes, that's
The Japanese emperor has
that's the key point of this book.
Yeah, but the Chinese don't have the emperor anymore.
Yes, anymore. Yes. In the past we had an emperor, but now it's totally different from the.
But why don't you make one in China?
Yes.
But sometimes
maybe.
I heard that the Chinese audience really like to see Chinese emperor because they don't have one.
Yes, people maybe want to have one because maybe it look very how to say interesting. Or,
Interesting,
yes.
interesting. Yeah, quite different from the situation
Yes.
in the PRC. Well, may I make a very small but a tough question to
Yes. Please.
you? We had a very, how can I say, very, how can I say, a very tough time
Yes.
during the World War II.
That's right.
Yeah, with your country, and how do you see personally such a past between Japan and China?
But when I was born, and it's already become a history. So maybe for a generation like me, we don't have so much emotion about this this war. And
But how about the elder people in China?
people in China, maybe some senior,
Yes.
some senior people maybe and still have this memory about this war,
Yes.
and they maybe have a negative emotion about Japan, and that's a little bit people still have such situation. But for young people, maybe it's just a history we read from the
From the book?
yes, from book.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't have so many personal, how to say, emotion about this case.
I
Yes.
see. Taking the example of Russia, in the I heard from the expert of the Russian affairs that there are indeed two types of the so-called Russians.
Yes.
The one is the people group who had sometimes bad memory against Japan during the World War II. But the younger Russian people really love Japanese manga and animations. And sometimes they
like
just
cosplay.
yes, cosplay. Haven't you see the Russian girls wearing the Japanese animation
Oh,
clothes?
very cute.
Yeah, but very cute.
Yes.
Much more beautiful. Japanese girls playing cosplay. But anyway, do you see also such a, how can I say, difference or discrepancy in the Chinese society?
Yes.
How can I say, like the Russians, as I said, the later people
Yes.
had bad memory, and the younger people
Yes.
don't have such a memory, but good, I can say, good impression about the
Yes.
Japanese society.
About
Like
I
culture.
think about 10 years ago, many Chinese start to go to Japan or sightseeing. About 15 years ago, maybe
Yes.
we start this kind of boom. So by come to Japan and by talk to Japanese and see the beautiful scenery, many people change their opinion about Japan from about 10 years ago. So rather than listen to the listen to something from the government or just read from book, and it's very important to see by your own eyes.
Yes,
and,
yes, yeah.
Yes.
Seeing is believing.
Yes.
That's right.
So after the 10 years, so I think more and more people become the fan of Japan's culture or
Yes.
or the whole country.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
just by the boom of traveling, so that's very important to
Well,
change their mind.
as a traveler, foreign traveler, Japan must be a very good country to be visited because here you can enjoy good meals, delicious meals, and nice sightseeing and
hospitality is
yes,
very
yes.
good.
But once you will have decided to live in Japan and penetrate into the Japanese society, it must be very difficult.
Yeah.
Because first of all, the ordinary Japanese, as I said, cannot speak any single word of the foreign languages.
Yeah.
And even English
English, yes.
is not spoken in Japanese society normally.
Yes.
And the second is, how can I say, not xenophobia, but they have, we Japanese have the hospitality vis-a-vis the foreigners because they are just different. You know,
Because they're foreigners.
Yes, once they try to be assimilated into the Japanese society, well, no, thank you.
Okay.
But the only condition for that could be able to speak Japanese language fluently and with full knowledge of the Japanese culture. Which is not written.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
That's true.
Yeah, but having said that, why did you decide to come to Japan?
Well, when I was a child, I liked Japanese culture very much, and so after graduating from the university, so I decided to enter the Japanese enterprise. So actually, I worked for the Japan enterprise in Japan's country about 14 years.
14 years.
So
so many
such
years.
a long time. So during this about 14 years, so I think I a little bit like Japanese. For my characters, I a little bit like Japanese.
Interesting.
Yes. And so maybe I'm.
But why don't you go to for example, go to the United States? Because there's so many young, talented Chinese people prefer United States.
Yes, maybe too far.
To Japan. Maybe too far. Really?
About yes.
Psychological, you mean?
Psychological.
Yes. Not geographically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the culture is so different from Chinese.
Yeah, but what is the American culture? I'm terribly sorry. I have plenty of the American friends, but
really?
I'm sometimes wondering what is American culture.
Culture.
Maybe the phrase American culture or the culture as a concept has a totally different meaning than from the Japanese one or Chinese one. Wenfa. Wenfa is not culture.
Hi.
Don't you think so?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe that's true.
Yes. And anyway, you have read it too, this book.
This book.
And you kindly summarize this book with these papers. Even with the 3 different languages. This is English version.
English version and
this
Chinese
is
version.
Chinese version. The Chinese version.
Japanese version.
Oh well, Chinese version is double copied.
Yeah.
So I thought that this is just only one page.
No.
No.
Sorry about
that. Yeah. Well, maybe. Yeah, this is
That's
Japanese one.
my understanding about this book.
Yeah, but having read it through, do you believe Pax Japonica will take place in the very near future?
I hope so. But after reading this book, I have a very, how to say, maybe Japan has a very bright future, I think. But is it actually will happen or it will not happen? I'm not sure maybe
Mhm.
about that.
Mhm.
But I hope it will be a real real future. Yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, I personally think that it is quite important that not only the Japanese but also foreign friends,
Yes.
will talk about Pax Japonica very enthusiastically because Pax Japonica is not phenomenon for only Japanese, but for the entire world. Pax Japonica must be, how can I say, something which will change the entire world, the entire global community totally, so that our institute is firmly believing that we should involve as many as foreign, how can I say, so many foreign friends who are very interested in the such future development towards the Pax Japonica. So, as I said at the very beginning of this program, this program aims to think about together, think about the Pax Japonica or the possibility whether Pax Japonica will be realized or not together. While we have the difficult situation such as in Ukraine or Russia or Europe as a whole. And in every single corner of the other parts of the earth, we have tremendous difficulties. But in Japan, well, we Japanese have also so many tiny problems. But in general, the Japanese society is best stabilized, and still, I can say, we Japanese can still survive, even in the lasting stagnation, economic stagnation. But based on that, we will surely find out some breakthrough towards the next stage called Pax Japonica. And what is it? Is the main, I can say, main issue we will work on now, with you, Yao-Chin, in this program. And this is just the introductory first session. So this is not the very end of this program. But anyway, this is at the very end of the first session of the program. And I hope that you will take a little bit time next time to see the second session of this program. And if you will have a little bit time, please give us a comment in the YouTube.
Yes, we are waiting for your comments.
Yes. Oh, well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
See you next time.
See you next time.